I thought that was cute stuff. I thought that was, Psalms 23. He prepares the table before me in the presence of my enemies. Doesn't that sound sweet? That means you got some haters and some enemies. They have tried to destroy you. But God said it's a setup. And if you can go through the fire, and you can go through the flood, and not lose your confidence in God, you need two things. You need two things if you're going to succeed. You need confidence in God, and you need confidence in yourself.
Amen.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I know a lot of people who have confidence in God, they have no confidence in themselves. I know a lot of people who have confidence in themselves, but they have no confidence in God. But let me tell you, when the magic happens is when you have confidence in God because you've been with Him. And when you've been with Him and you've heard from Him, you're walking in a boldness because you know, I know what God has promised me. And He said, I'll use the hand of your enemy. They meant it for my evil. But God meant it for my good.
Amen.
Numbers chapter 14 and verse 9. This is where the Lord took me years and years ago. The hand of your enemy. Do not rebel against the Lord. Listen now. Nor fear the people. For they, your enemies, your giants, this is what it's in reference to, the giants in the promised land. They are bread for us. Our enemies, God said, will feed us. I will provide through the hand of man, through the hand of God, through the hand of your own labor, and I'll provide through the hand of your enemies. I'll feed you through the hand of your enemies. Because of the attacks you go through, because of the struggles you go through, it will become bread for you. Satan's attack is a sign that you are a high-value target. Now listen carefully. Play in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. The level of your attack, I wrote this years ago and didn't know what I was talking about. I must have found it in a book somewhere. The level of your attack will tell you two things. I love this. This went off in me. The value you are to God in your assignment, number one. The value you are to God in your assignment will, the level of attack that you go through will tell you the value you are to God in your assignment. Little attack, little assignment. Secondly, the level of blessing that is waiting on you on the other side of your attack. Everybody ought to shout right there. It's waiting on you. That's what God's saying. I just want to see, listen to this verse in Psalm 66. I just want to see Psalm 66. I want to see, I know it's in Psalm 66. This is the wealthy. Yeah, there you go. Because men have ridden over our heads and we went through the fire. In other words, we had haters, we had attacks, and we went through the fire, we went through the water. Watch. But thou hast brought us out into, if it's in the Bible, I can say it. Into, what did you have to go through to get there? I didn't quit in the fire. I didn't quit in the flood. I didn't quit when all hell said just walk away. I stood my ground and He brought me into a wealthy place. And whether you know it or not, you are in 1% of the wealth if you're in America. According to the statistics in the whole world, the poorest one among us is so much richer than the rest of the world. in Jentezen. And that just tells me a lot of people aren't thankful for what they've got. What I'm preaching to you this morning is the truth. If you persevere, if you don't give up, and I want to end with this. I'm done, I promise. But the Lord said, have you given me anything to multiply? If you sow a little, you'll reap a little. If you sow a lot, you'll reap a lot. That's Amen. Right out of the Bible. The Lord said to tell you to get off the foot pump of Egyptian living, scratching by, scraping by, and get into the flow. This is where He gave me this little thing. I was going through a battle back then, and the Lord, it's really on my mind, and it was a financial need that we have in the church. And I said, Lord, what are we going to do? And I heard these words. That time, this time, and every time. I will not fail. I will not forget. And I will not forsake you. Everybody say, that time. Now give thanks that He blessed you and made a way that time. Take a minute. Take a praise break. It's Thanksgiving week. That time. And I don't know what your that is. I don't know what your that is. I don't know. But I know what my that's were. That time. Everybody shout that time. That time. Now I want an explosion of praise for that time. I can't get you to do it spontaneous. I'll orchestrate. This time. And every time. God will not fail. God will not forsake me. Now get on your feet at every campus and give Him a mighty shout of praise. Give Him a thanksgiving shout. Give Him, I'm thanking you for all that you have.